Let us welcome the seventh speaker. The seventh speaker is Ms Haruka Terada.
Her speech title is Be a Gatekeeper. Be a Gatekeeper. So, Ms Terada, please come up to the stage.
Thank you, the master of the ceremony, distinguished judges, and all the organizers. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Thank you. Suicide prevention. What kind of image do you have of it? Probably many of you answer like this. Isn't it what the person having suicidal thoughts should do? Isn't it what the government should deal with? Anyway, third parties can do nothing because we are powerless in suicide prevention. But is that true? Is it really irrelevant to us? Are we really powerless? Actually, such prejudice that must have come to your mind was what my family was saying before my uncle committed suicide. The prejudice of we are powerless made us indifferent to suicide prevention. The indifference to suicide prevention possibly led to the worst outcome. The worst outcome brought us eternal regret and bottomless grief. This experience made me think how suicide prevention should be. 1 in 4. This is the number of the people who seriously thought about suicide in Japan, according to the Nippon Foundation of Social Innovation. Yet, about 70% of Japanese people answered suicide prevention was not relevant to them, according to the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare. The high suicide thought rate and the low public awareness of its prevention. Isn't this gap horrible? So today, I'm here to talk about third parties suicide prevention based on my 4-year struggle. The goal of my speech is to change your perspective towards suicide prevention and decrease the number of suicides in the future. A few years after my uncle passed away, I faced the same situation as him. It took me a while to find out, but I had bipolar disorder, one of the mental illnesses. I want to die. This was the first time when I was in front of the gate. From then on, a rope was hung in my closet whenever I could die. Yes, I was ready to open that gate. But honestly, I was so scared. How painful it would be not to be able to breathe. How painful it will be to live with after effects when I fail. With this tremendous fear, I tried to get rid of my suicidal thoughts, but failed because of their uncontrollability. I used the government suicide prevention hotline 12 times, but no one picked up the phone, and I suffered from greater pain. The government and I are not enough to save me. This was the time when I faced the reality and was seeking the third party's help. However, one day, I suddenly found hope like a silver lining. Hey, Haruka, you're different from before. Please tell me what happened to you. It was a call from my best friend for you. For you, no, I'm all right. You don't have to care about me. Haruka, you keep distance from others, don't care about your appearance, and seem to be abnormally cheerful. Please tell me what you're hiding. For you, I'm really okay. Haruka, I won't deny your feelings. I won't give you any advice. I'm always on your side. After just this conversation, something was unraveled in me. Then, after she listened to my suicidal thoughts and referred me to a psychiatrist, I finally found this became the very turning point to overcome my adversity. What Fuyu did for me wasn't just kindness, but what is called a gatekeeper. A gatekeeper is a person who notices the signs of suicide, indicates its risk, and takes appropriate measures, advocated by a clinical psychologist, Edwin Schneidman. And the biggest attractive feature is that anyone can be it without any special qualification. Well, is it effective? Now, many of you might be doubtful like this. However, it has an amazing impact. According to Takatsuki City, where gatekeeper training of city workers has been started in 2015, 83% of citizens who went to counseling answered their suicidal thoughts or anxiety had disappeared thanks to gatekeeping-style counseling. Moreover, in Canada, the Canadian Journal of Psychiatry showed that the suicide rate in British Columbia reduced by 19% after the introduction of the citizens' gatekeeper training. You see? Now you may realize a gatekeeper, a third party, has great power in suicide prevention. So ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to be a gatekeeper. Regardless of its importance, the recognition rate remains at only 9%, as Yahoo News survey showed. But that's exactly why I'm keep speaking it up at the speech contest. To make it easier for the audience to understand, I made the original brief translated keyword of the long gatekeeping concept, 4Ls. 4L stands for look for, listen, link, and look after. The first L, look for some small changes in your loved one. According to the Gatekeeper's booklet provided by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, there are several signs of suicidal thoughts, such as emotional instability or indifference in personal appearance, and these were exactly what Fuyu detected in me. The second L, listen. Listen to your loved one's concerns without criticism. The Japan Keicho Development Association showed listening has the effect of relieving the patient's pain or easing their sense of loneliness, and these were exactly why I was able to calm down. The third L, listen. Listen to your loved one's concerns without criticism. Remember, special institutions are the only places to solve the concerns radically, as I could find and cure my mental disorder. The fourth L, look after. Look after your loved one even after the professional treatments. Suicidal thoughts cannot be suddenly extinguished, so it is important to watch them over the long term. This is what Fuyu and I have kept doing, and this whole process is what has kept me alive. About 7 minutes passed after I started delivering my speech. Even during this short moment, about 14 people have ended their lives in the world. I don't want anyone to regret what they should have done after the incident happened, like my family. Instead, I want everyone to give light to their loved ones, as Fuyu did for me. Let's keep the 4 L's in our minds and be future gatekeepers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Terada. Now, we have a question and answer session. Mr. Kubota, please.
Okay, Haruka-san, thank you for sharing the 4L strategy.
Thank you.
So do you have any experience on carrying out the 4Ls and actually saving someone else?
Okay, thank you. Actually, I have, she's my junior in the ESS community, and she always consulted me that she didn't say anything like she'd want to die, but she always told me that she want to disappear from this world. So I, like, regardless of my business, I really, really listened to her concerns and referred her to go to the psychiatrist with sharing my story. And finally, she didn't go to the psychiatry, but go to see the doctor. But she always tell me that you are my gatekeeper. So yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing this successful episode. So let's think about another case. Let's think about a 60-year-old man. His child passed away. He got divorced with his wife, so he is alone. He got fired for his job, and he doesn't have any money. And he is thinking about committing suicide. Don't you think that it is kind for us to let him go rather than keeping him alive? And this is not the extreme case because this could happen to anyone in society.
Okay, thank you. Well, even in such situation, I believe that like letting them die is not a good thing. Like, for example, as you said, this may can be occur in society. Like, but on the other hand, I saw a lot of article, the writers saying that I lost my wife, children, whole family due to disaster, and I was thinking about committing suicide. But I can say from the bottom of my heart that I was happy to be alive. So by sharing such kind of story, there is someone that who had experienced the same thing, and someone who believed that still living is a great thing, is very might be effective. And this is called Papageno effect in psychology, sharing the story about those who overcame the suicidal thoughts, and then many people think, oh, then I might live, or like that.
Okay, so my last question. So, even if you say so, your words should come up with responsibility. If you say something, and especially if you're going to try to save someone's life by giving some kind of words, maybe it's part of 4Ls, I think. Can you be really responsible for his or her life?
Okay. Before answering the question, I would like to restate the definition of a gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is, of course, the final goal is to save the life, but the definition and the most important thing is to detect the sign to act appropriately. So, and a lot of governments is stating that the gatekeeper don't have to have the responsibility of their life. We are just supporting them, and by having such kind of course, word, we have a sense of responsibility, but we don't have to how can I say it? We don't have to get all of them, because that's the very definition of a gatekeeper. So this is my answer.
Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kubota and Ms. Terada. Please go back to your seat.